Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Gene Curl, and in this channel I talk about journalism, post-Mormonism, talk religion, and things like that. And today I decided that I was going to read from one of my journals, from my mission journal. And part of the reason I'm doing that is that some people are going to go on a mission and they're not sure if they should keep a journal on their mission. Or other people just wonder what it's like to be on a mission and they haven't gone. Other people just want to hear me read my journals. So if this is something popular, if people have responded to this, I'll continue and make more episodes of it. I'm going to start with the day before I left on my mission. And so this is one of my many mission journals. I have a stack of them. As you can see behind me, I've got a bunch of journals on the shelf. So Tuesday, December 3rd, 2002. And when I read this, I'm going to skip names unless it is somebody in a prominent position like a stake president or a mission president or anything like that. Otherwise, I'm just going to substitute a name or something like that. I went to the mall. I happened to see Lindsay. She asked if I had been set apart yet. When I said that I hadn't, she hugged me. I talked to her for a long time. R bought some stuff and we all had lunch. We then went to the courthouse to talk about the prosecution. We were there until almost 5 p.m. Mom, T, and I went to President Clark's office. Yeah, so the prosecution, if you had been listening to my any of my other stories, you know that my father wasn't an overly good man and that he wanted to go in jail. So I had a brief meeting with President Clark before I was set apart. President Clark was the mouthpiece for the blessing. T, Brother B, and President Davidson stood in the circle. I was blessed to be a good missionary, to get along with my companions, to have the power to resist temptation, to be able to remember people's names, to have the Spirit with me, to be happy, to know that I am loved, and to get over homesickness quickly. I was blessed with some other things as well, but I cannot remember all of them. President Clark and Brother B cried and told me that they were proud of me. I then bore my testimony, and President Clark talked to us for a while. Before we left to go to President Clark's office, L and A pulled up, and we did not stay to talk, but went on. When we got home, we all had dinner. I gave the prayer over the food. After dinner, everyone but T and I left to go to the mall and to the courthouse to talk to the prosecution again. I did all my laundry and finished packing my suitcases and boxing up the rest of my stuff. Wednesday, December 4th, 2002. Clear and cool. After we ate breakfast, we talked a while. We went to the court. I testified first. I had to testify against my father on the day that I left on my mission. So, D and some other lowlifes came to testify in my father's behalf. I was finished first, and I called Brother B. He came to pick me up. I told everyone bye, and we left. We decided to eat at Jack in the Box. Jay and R showed up, and we ate together. Brother B and I left for the MTC right after we ate. We got to the MTC. He gave me $50. I left my luggage at the front desk and went to class. I met my branch president and President Anderson and my companion, Elder Montana. There are 6 elders in my room. Elder Montana isn't actually his real name, but that's what I called him, so I'm going to continue to call him that. Thursday, December 5th, 2002, clear and cool. We had class all day. In our large group meeting, I was asked to come to the podium to tell my conversion story. Friday, December 6th, 2002, clear and cold. We had class all day. In my last class, Sister H told me that I will be a very good missionary, but I need to work on focusing on others' needs. Elder and I went upstairs to be taught the first discussion by some sisters. It was one of the most spiritual things that happened this week. I almost cried when I shared with them the story from the New Testament about where Peter said to the Savior, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man." President Anderson came to our room and asked about a 5-gallon bucket of trash that was said to be outside of our window. We only had a 1-quart container full of fruit. My mission companion took some fruit and put it in an ice cream bucket and set it outside the window to keep it cool. And maintenance saw it and said that it was a 5-gallon bucket full of crap. So I took pictures of all my roommates and some of my teachers. I met an elder from Pocatello and 2 sisters who were going to Pocatello. I was called over the intercom twice. Once was come to the medical office to show my TB skin test, and once because President Clark called to tell me that my father was convicted. President Anderson came by to look out of our window, and he knocked down our Christmas tree and broke our candy canes. Saturday, December 7th, 2002. We had breakfast, class, lunch, and gym. In gym, we played volleyball, and in our first class, President Anderson brought everyone from my apartment to talk about our fruit container. There was a misunderstanding. He thought it was a 5-gallon container full of fruit and feces, because that is what security said. I wrote a talk because I was told that I was a 1 in 150 chance that I'd have to give it. When I was on my mission, if there was a chance that I had to do something, I would always prepared. And so when I found out there was a slight chance that I was going to have to give a talk, I wrote a talk, and I figured if I didn't give it then, I would wind up giving it at some point on my mission. Sunday, December 8th, 2002. Cloudy, foggy, cold. We all went to sacrament and priesthood. When we had our interview with President Anderson, he asked if I was homesick and if my family was okay and if everyone obeyed the rules. I told him they obey the rules except for going to bed on time. Elder Montana was called to be the district leader. I was called to be the assistant district leader. Elder Montana wanted to sing in choir, but I did not. So Elder Ian went with me to the apartment to study and then to lunch. There was a fireside. The speaker was the second counselor in the MTC presidency and his wife. But we mostly sang Christmas songs. After we had a meeting, the MTC president was the speaker. He mentioned that it is the devil's plan to have us stay in bed past 6:30. They were serious about getting up on time. Monday, December 9th, 2002. Clear and cold. We had gym first thing this morning. After we had class, we did all of our laundry. We played volleyball in the gym. I picked up my coat that I lost and found, and I wrote a couple of letters. I have been sick since I came here, but I felt worse today. President Delbert came by to see how we were doing, about 9:40 p.m. We had a good class today. While I was writing this, a security guy came by to tell us to close our window. We taught some missionaries that we did not know, and we played ball for a while before bed. Tuesday, December 10th. Clear, warm, and I received a letter from Mom. We had class early. I had a performance check. Brother S told me that I did a good job, but that I need to be more concerned with the other person. Later, I was teaching Elder S when I was told by the teacher that I did it very well. We had a large group meeting today. The speaker was Tom Peterson. I also taught Elder Blank today. Tonight we went to an MTC devotional. The speaker was L. Tom Perry from the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. He talked about Joseph Smith. There's a lot of times at the MTC where general authorities will come by and visit. Wednesday, December 11th, 2002. Cloudy, cool, light snow, but it melted as soon as the sun came up. First thing this morning we had service. Elder Montana and I cleaned the mailroom, etc. In my teaching evaluation, Brother Ian about cried, and he told me that I really matched my message to help him. Our large group meeting was about the Book of Mormon, and I had to get my picture taken, and they had to show my immunization papers. I also had to go see a doctor because of my flu, because of my district and teachers and Brother Ian and myself. Brother Ian and the other Brother Ian made me do it. A member of the branch presidency came by to visit. We had a gym tonight. I played volleyball. I received a letter from Sister S. I wrote Mom when I got to the part that I told her to send me beef jerky. I had all of my district sign it. Thursday, December 12, 2002. Clear, lukewarm. We had gym first thing this morning. When we went to the temple, I felt the Spirit stronger than I have in a long time. I stayed in the celestial room for a while, thinking about Christ. Elder S. went home today. I'm not sure why, but he did say that he would be back in a couple of weeks. We learned that about the TRC. I received a letter from my mother, or actually a Christmas card. We had a large group meeting. We learned about finding. Elder Montana and Elder B made me sing on a tape for their mothers. I was singing A Poor Wayfaring Man of Grief, and they thought I sang well, so they made me sing it so they could record it. I don't think I'm a good singer, though. Clear and cold. Our large group meeting was about the nature of God. The presenter, Sister C, was Sister C. We went to the TRC first. The first people that Elder Billings and I taught was a man and his mother. The second was a man and his investigator friend. The second time went a lot better than the first. We taught a couple of times tonight. I felt the Spirit strong when we were talking about repentance in Jesus Christ. We received our travel plans for our mission. Elder B and Elder D was sick and let out of class early. Saturday, December 14th. Clear and warm. In class this morning, Sister H told us to think about someone who really helped me in my life. I thought about the B family and how they have been such great friends. They have showed me so much love. With the exception of Jesus Christ, there has never been a man who has loved me more than Brother B. I will be eternally grateful for his love and friendship. We had gym today. I played volleyball. Sister H had me teach her the third discussion with a scenario that she was a non-member and she had a hard time accepting baptism. I taught her and tried to get her to be baptized, and I asked her what aspects of the gospel she was having problems with. She said that was a good question, but that she could not lie and tell me that she had a problem with the gospel because she doesn't, so she would have to start over. I finally got her to the point where we got her to consent to baptism. She thought that I did good teaching, but I told her that I could not have done it without the Lord's help. Everyone was feeling sick today. Today was Sister H's last day, so we all took pictures of her and Sister R. Sunday, December 15th. Cloudy, cold. Snowed lightly this morning, but it did not stick. I helped to pass sacrament today. I felt a little strange to have 4 elders passing and only 2 trays. When President Anderson interviewed me, he told me that he was proud of me, that he respected me and loved me. When I told him about my father, he told me that knowing this about me made him have greater respect for me. He also told me that he knows that I will be a great missionary, that I am a diligent, and he hugged me before he left his office. In our leadership meeting, Elder Montana and I told the branch president about Elder N always being late because of Elder S, and we were informed that we would, the whole district, sing next Sunday, and 2 of us would have to give a talk. We went to the fireside. Elder Montana and I almost got to the front row seats for the fireside. There was no speaker, but the BYU male choir sang Christmas songs. After the fireside, we went to TRC orientation. We all took pictures outside. I wrote some letters. One to President Clark, to Heather, to Catherine, and to Tanner. Cloudy, warm, light rain, on and off all day. We had gym first thing this morning. I played volleyball. We had referral today. I sent a couple of nativity videos to non-members and one to a member. We all did our laundry today. I mailed a letter to Kay and a card to Tyler, and I mailed my coat home. We had to go to a health meeting, and President B came to visit us. I decided that since I was going to Hawaii, I didn't need my big heavy winter coat, and I mailed it home. Cloudy. Let's see, Tuesday, December 17th. Cloudy, cool, light snow, but it melted this morning. We received a package from Mom. I went to the referral center. I practiced outbound calls. We taught the second discussion to another district. We went to devotional. Elder S. He talked about things that will make you a good missionary. After we had a devotional review, President Stoddard was there. We all talked about how our companions good quality. I was surprised, but everyone said that they were glad that I enforced the rules. Wednesday, December 18th, 2002. Mostly clear. It snowed lightly last night, but it melted this morning. We had TRC this morning. Elder Montana and I, we went. The first person that we taught was an old man. He had concerns that the Joseph Smith story sounded like a fairy tale. We helped him to recognize the spirit and commit to pray about it. Our second discussion was a lady and her mother. She acted like she wanted to argue. When we were through, we were told that the younger lady was a schizophrenic. We went to the referral center and had 5 people let me send them missionaries, 1 member of referral, and there was a man who called that his wife and son were members that he was not. He went to the LDS church with them, and they went to the Catholic church with him. One day, he went to the ward and mentioned that he was Catholic, and they said, "We won't hold that against you." He told me that this stuck a prick in him, and before this, he was thinking about converting, but now it will take years longer. He told me that he was going to go on a business trip and asked if I would say a prayer for him, which of course I gladly agreed. This was the highlight of my day. I had some rude people too, and we went to gym. I played volleyball. The schizophrenic lady we taught her, the teacher told us a good job avoiding contention. I wrote Liz and Shantae and Jim and Lynn and Tommy. I don't sometimes mind mentioning the first names, but I'm not going to mention anyone's last names unless they're in a position of authority. We had gym first Thursday, December 19th. We had gym first thing this morning. I played volleyball. After breakfast, we went to the temple. Most of us did baptisms. I baptized Elder Ian, and he baptized me. We had a large group meeting about proclaiming the gospel and establishing the church. At the temple, I took a picture of Elder Montana and I outside the temple. When we had personal Book of Mormon study, Elder D and Elder S kept talking about Walmart. I asked them if knowing Walmart policy would bring their investigators to Christ. They said no, so I said, if not, I think you should study the gospel of Jesus Christ. Most of the elders were not studying, so I wrote on the chalkboard, study as if Christ were watching you, because he is. We had referral center today. I had a few interesting calls. I had one real solid referral. The lady told me that she can tell that I am excited about the gospel because I am so excited she will let me send the missionaries to her house. I also had a queer call. He was very friendly. Actually, I called him. He said that he liked what the missionaries taught, but that he does not want to join. He asked me to put him on our do not call list. I hate to say, but I was not very... I wasn't very open-minded in these days, and so I referred to a homosexual person as queer, not because they wanted to be referred to as queer, but because that's just what I called them. Yeah, I've come a long way since then. Friday, December 20th, 2002. Cloudy, cold, light snow. We had gym this morning. I played volleyball, but I did not play very well because I had too much on my mind. We had referral center. We had a few interesting calls. I had 4 to 5 people agree to let me send the missionaries. At lunch, one of the elders told Elder D to go ask one of the sister missionaries for her phone number. Elder Montana told him that if he would do it, he would give him $1. Elder D agreed to do it. Elder Montana did it as a joke to let Elder D know that he was not as smart as he thought that he was. I told him that it was a bad idea and that it was against the rules. When Elder D got up to go talk to the sister, I told him that I had to advise against it. Elder D told me not to worry, and he went and asked. When Elder Montana and I were leaving the cafeteria, Montana told the sister that he was sorry and that it was a bad joke, and that when we found out that Elder D would really do it, that he should have stopped it. The sister left the building crying. When we came back for dinner, Elder Montana and Elder H went and apologized to the sister. Elder H went because he used to date her younger sister. I think that in the most part they made her feel better, but it would have been a lot better off had they just listened to me in the first place. When we left the cafeteria, Elder Montana was ranting and saying that he hated people telling him what to do, and I was wondering what I had done, because I did not tell him what to do. But when we were in the cafeteria, he was giving gum to everyone, and I refused to take any because it is against the rules. When we came back to class, I asked Elder Montana, "You are not too mad at me to teach with you, are you?" He asked why, and I told him that I thought that he had been talking about me. He was saddened that I had thought he was upset with me, and assured me that he was not. This eased the tension between us and let us have the spirit to teach. We taught 2 different elder companionships. The last of them, I really felt the spirit. They had some difficulty reading, but they wanted to learn the gospel. And they were really humble. I should be as humble. I received a letter today from the L family. Basically, that's what's going on at the MTC. There's not a whole lot left before I go to the MTC, or at the MTC. I don't think anything else real exciting happened, so I'm going to end this here, and I'm going to start off again when my mission starts, or not when my mission starts, but when I went to my mission field, when I went to Hawaii. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any concerns or comments, let me know in the comments down below. Like I say, if this gets any real interest, I will continue reading my mission journals, and if not, I'll stop.